logistics, and digital workplace solutions help you realize one breakthrough after another. Unisys. Keep breaking through.
WHIO Radio is the home of the biggest sports brands in the Miami Valley. And we have the ability to put your company's message right in the middle of it.
We've been caring and fighting for clients since 1950.
The home of the Cleveland Browns.
Where my dogs at? Where my dogs at?
University of Dayton basketball.
I'm the voice of the Flyers, Larry Hanskin.
High school football. And the best Bengals coverage. Put your business front and center in the most valuable space in media. Sports rules. To get your message in these legendary sports brands, advertise on Dayton's legendary radio station. To advertise, call Kristen at 937-259-2344. That's 937-259-2344.
Together with the resources of News Center 7, you're on Dayton's #1 news team. Now, back to Miami Valley's morning news on WHIO.
Good morning, TGIF. You're listening to Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Brittany Otto. A big congratulations to Zeke in Dayton. Zeke's won a pair of tickets to see Brit Floyd Wish You Were Here 50th anniversary at the Rose Music Center coming up on Sunday, August 17th. 69 degrees right now in Dayton. It's 6:38.
And that is 22 minutes here ahead of 7 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Well, you can listen along here on WHIO as the Browns kick off the preseason tonight.
Rookie Shedeur Sanders will start for Cleveland in their preseason opener against the Carolina Panthers, with the recently signed Tyler Huntley also expected to play. Veteran Joe Flacco is healthy but will not play. Sanders was drafted in the 5th round, and despite being 4th on the depth chart, injuries to other Browns quarterbacks have contributed to this opportunity.
That is WHIO's Will Taylor. A story grabbing a lot of attention this morning. A critic is now blasting the move to raise the water level of a river here in Ohio to accommodate Vice President Vance's kayaking trip last weekend.
Richard W. Painter, who served as chief White House ethics lawyer under President George W. Bush, wrote on X, "It's outrageous for the Army Corps of Engineers to spend taxpayer money to increase water flow in a river so the vice president can go canoeing when budget cuts to the National Park Service have severely impacted family vacations for everyone else." U.S. Secret Service said it requested the increased water flow for the Little Miami River to ensure motorized watercraft and emergency personnel could operate safely while protecting the vice president, whose home is in Cincinnati. The Army Corps declined to address any financial impact of raising the river, saying only it was done to support safe navigation of U.S. Secret Service personnel and that it fell within normal practice.
That is Fox's Lisa Lacera reporting. After the brawl outside a Cincinnati nightclub on July the 26th, Cincinnati Councilwoman Victoria Parks posted on Facebook that the victims begged for that beatdown, sparking outrage nationwide. On Fox's The Ingram Angle, Holly, the woman injured in the violent attack, says leaders should not try to sweep the incident under the rug.
If you are encouraging this kind of behavior, then obviously no change is going to happen for the good. It's going to continue. So for me, I feel like you're part of the problem, not the solution.
Yeah, so already 6 suspects have now been charged for that attack. The FBI and Justice Department confirmed this week that a federal investigation has been opened. We'll continue to follow this story for you. WHIO News Time, 641.
And we're going to get your 5-day weather forecast on this Friday morning with Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz.
Patchy fog this morning, hot and humid this afternoon with a stray shower, 86 degrees, feeling more like 90. 88 on Saturday, partly cloudy with a stray shower. Sunday, showers and storms possible late, otherwise partly cloudy and a high of 89. 88 degrees on Monday. Once again, a 20% shot of a shower or storm through the afternoon. And Tuesday, best shot at rain as we stay in the upper 80s until that front decides it wants to move through. Come Wednesday, we're back to 86.
Right now, the live Doppler 7 radar is clear. It's 65 in Vandalia. It is 66 in Xenia, 69 degrees at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Expert brake repair you can trust. Make sure you can stop when you need to the most. Get a little peace of mind by making an appointment today with your trusted brake repair experts at GrismerTire.com.
And we get a traffic update now from Jake Magnotta.
A lot more of us getting our morning started, and there are no delays that you are going to be stuck in as you're heading to work, hitting the interstates, or if you're just driving on our main roads. No reported crashes from police as well right now. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Well, the New York Post says a new Lifetime reality series will chronicle college students trying to get into sororities and the obsessive moms that help them. Sorority Mom's Guide to Rush features mothers spending $10,000 on expensive Gucci bags and Cartier rings to give their daughters a leg up during sorority rush. And more drama we've got following Cincinnati street brawl with the city councilwoman weighing in. We've got that story coming up for you. WHIO News Time is 6:43.
This is WHIO. And yes, we're proud and honored to be part of the same company and operation as Channel 7. What does this mean to you? We've combined our resources from both radio and television to create a massive newsroom with lots of reporters digging deep into big news stories happening in the Miami Valley. Everyone knows Channel 7 News. And together, we're giving you more news than you can get anywhere else. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
Hey there. We're My USA Credit Union. We're the simple, go all in, slightly quirky cooperative, can do place to bank. We're for those building toward the future, creating the life of your dreams. We'll always tell it to you straight and help guide you through each step of life's journey. When you join My USA, you've got a best financial friend for life. We're always rooting for you, like a best friend should. MyUSACU.com. This institution is not federally insured, but ASI insured and equal opportunity lender. Contact the credit union for complete details.
This is the legendary WHIO, the king of sports in Ohio. We've got the biggest sports teams and leagues on both radio and TV. This year, we're proud to be the home of NFL with Cincinnati Bengals football on Channel 7. The Southwest Ohio home of the Cleveland Browns on WHIO Radio. The biggest Big Ten games during the season every Saturday, including Ohio State football. The CBS NFL Game of the Week. The home of University of Dayton basketball and football. The Touchdown 7 high school football games of the week. The Dayton home of March Madness, the Masters, and PGA Championship. When it comes to the absolute biggest sports brands, WHIO Radio and Television is the king of Dayton sports. WHIO, Dayton's news, talk, and sports station. What is the WHIO Storm Center? It means when you hear these tones, you are just a few minutes away from emergency weather information. Weather is our #1 priority. The Storm Center 7 forecast is always on the radio. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. And when News Center 7 is in wall-to-wall weather coverage mode, you'll always hear it simulcast on WHIO Radio. That means you can take your radio to your safe spot and hear exactly what's happening with severe weather. When it comes to weather, we don't mess around.
Breaking news all morning. The Storm Center 7 forecast to start your day and triple team traffic. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
Good morning. It is 6:45. I'm Brittany Otto here on Miami Valley's Morning News with the 3 big things that you need to know. A dozen mosquitoes test positive for West Nile virus in Greene County. Dayton Public Schools' first day of school just days away. Still no busing for high schoolers across that district. And it is our top local story. New details from investigators who say the woman whose body was found inside of a plastic tote was pregnant.
Yeah, such a sad story. Brittany, WHIO's Rich Jones continues our team coverage with what we know this morning.
Cops say James Rothenbush and Rick Shepard admitted to them that 28-year-old Brittany Furstorms died inside Rothenbush's house and that the body was inside the home for days afterward. Both men are facing several drug charges, along with gross abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence charges. 2 hikers found Furstorm's body in the area of Manning and Anthony Road Sunday night. in Jackson Township.
You can stay with us for updates on this developing story in the hours and days ahead. Ohio students are going to go back to class soon. Some will also want to keep their summer jobs, and there's something parents need to know about that.
Students aged 14 to 17 must first obtain a minor work permit before they begin working. A job offer must be secured before applying. If the teen got the permit during the summer, they don't need to go through it again to keep working during the school year. Permit applications are available online.
That is WHIO's Jason Michaels. Now, 14 and 15-year-olds can work up to 18 hours a week, but must conclude shifts by 7 p.m. on school nights. Older teens can work up to 40 hours a week, but must be off shift by 11 on school nights. In sports, an injury forcing the Indianapolis Colts to switch quarterbacks earlier than they had planned. Fox's Joe Morgan explains.
The quarterback competition in Indianapolis got off on the wrong foot or hand. Anthony Richardson got the start under center for the Colts in their preseason opener against the Ravens Thursday night, but he dislocated the pinky finger on his right hand in the first quarter and was replaced by Daniel Jones. Richardson suffered the injury after being sacked by linebacker David Ajabo on his second possession. Jones was brought in during the offseason to compete with Richardson for the starting job, and the Duke product finished the night 10 of 21 for 144 yards with no touchdowns or interceptions.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Browns kick off the preseason tonight with a game against the Panthers, and you can listen to coverage right here on Dayton's home of the Browns. A Dayton Flyer men's basketball will take on a Big Ten team this fall in an exhibition game to benefit adolescent and young adult mental health.
The Flyers and the Penn State Nittany Lions will tip off Sunday, October 19th at UD Arena, and the game will benefit Jay's Light, the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation, and mental health initiatives for UD students. Other events and programs leading up to the game will be announced later this fall.
That is WHIO's Rich Jones. Tickets will be offered as part of the Dayton season ticket package, with single game tickets announced for sale as available. And happy National Pickleball Day to all who celebrate.
Pickleball is considered the fastest growing sport in the U.S. according to PickleRage.com. About 36.5 million Americans have played the sport at least once, and young people are flocking to the game, dropping the average age of players from 41 5 years ago to 35 today.
That is Fox's CJ Papa. Looks like so much fun, but I still have not played it at all. WHIO News Time 6:49.
It is fun.
I believe you.
And time for us to get your 5-day weather forecast with Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz.
This Friday afternoon, we'll hit 86 degrees, feeling more like 90 plus thanks to the humidity. Partly cloudy skies, stray showers possible. Saturday, much of the same, even hotter, 88, 89 on Sunday, with a better chance for showers and storms throughout the latter part of the day, especially into the early parts of the evening. Monday, a stray shower storm, 88 degrees, otherwise partly cloudy, and a little more cloud cover on Tuesday with a better shot of showers and storms with an approaching cold front with a high of 88 degrees.
The live Doppler 7 radar is clear at 64 in Springfield, 66 in Xenia, 69 degrees at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Is your car's AC acting up? Keep cool this summer by visiting your trusted automotive air conditioning repair experts. Breathe a little easier by making an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
And here's Jake Magnotta.
Traffic continues to move well for the last morning commute of the work week. We started out with some overnight road work that's been cleared for about an hour now on I-70. So I-70, 675, 75, no issues to worry about. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Well, Saturday, tomorrow, National Garage Sale Day. WLKY says the world's largest yard sale spanning 690 miles across Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama is set to take place this weekend. The 127 yard sale will offer a wide array of items like artwork, furniture, collectibles, and jewelry. Shoppers encouraged to explore local eateries and attractions along the route. And when you're getting ready to get in the car, you can call shotgun. But whether you actually get it is up for debate. We discuss the rules of the game in 3 minutes. WHI News Time is 6:51.
I know it's scary to hear someone tell you to get in your safe spot during a storm. But aren't you glad we're here to say it? Live Storm Center 7 coverage during any weather situation. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
Hey there. We're My USA Credit Union. We're the simple, go-all-in, slightly quirky cooperative, can-do place to bank. We're for those building toward the future, creating the life of your dreams. We'll always tell it to you straight and help guide you through each step of life's journey. When you join MyUSA, you've got a best financial friend for life. We're always rooting for you, like a best friend should. MyUSACU.com. This institution is not federally insured, but ASI insured and equal opportunity lender. Contact the credit union for complete details.
I'm Ron Otto with My Sports Rundown, my opinion on the big stories in sports. Everybody is practically giddy that NFL training camps are underway. To me, it's the most boring part of the league's calendar. Nobody's getting traded, few players are even getting cut, some teams have joint practices, but you won't see any of that until after the fact. We'll have the same questions about the same players and teams that we had months ago, with little to no answers, days of mindless drills under the hot summer sun, leading to games that don't count, filled with players that most of us won't see play in any meaningful games this fall. OTAs are more interesting. I guess it's the mere suggestion that football is on its way that gets people excited, even relieved. You can get excited if you want, but wake me when the season starts. Wake me when the college football season starts, or better yet, the high school season begins. I'm Ron Otto, and that's my sports rundown. For this week in history, I'm Ron Otto. August 5th was a big day in history. In 1914, the first electric traffic light in America is installed at West 105th Street and Euclid in Cleveland. In 1930, the first man on the moon, astronaut Neil Armstrong, is born in Wapakoneta. In 1945, the Enola Gay drops an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan.
The Japanese began the war from the air at Pearl Harbor. They have been repaid many-fold.
And in 1991, the man who literally started the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals, Coach Paul Brown, dies. And August 9th, 1974, Richard Nixon becomes the first U.S. president to resign.
But as president, I must put the interests of America first. Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour in this office.
For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto.
Isn't it time to bring some magic into the real world? Where knights ride in shining armor, and pirates always have a bag of loot. Where everyone is welcome for a toast. Where wonder and fantasy awaits you round every corner. Discover it all at the Ohio Renaissance Festival. Visit renfestival.com for info and tickets.
The area's only all-news and talk radio station. That means we're talking about what you're talking about. Miami Valley's Morning News continues on WHIO.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Miami Valley's Morning News on this Friday morning. I'm Brittany Otto. 69 degrees right now in Dayton. It is 6:55, and I'm joined this morning by Jeremy Ratliff over in the newsroom.
Morning.
We got Will Taylor in Master Control.
Good morning.
And guys, we're going to talk about the game of shotgun. Is this something that you guys have played in the past or currently?
In high school, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a period of time where I was using it a lot more.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
kind of
not so
fallen off.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. But like when I was a kid, it was a big deal between my brother and I, or like my
Oh,
cousins
yeah. Mhm.
and I like to call shotgun. So we're going to look at the top 10 rules of riding shotgun in a car, according to a new survey by One Poll. I'm going to go over these. Let me just say, this is really intense.
Okay.
And I almost, though, feel like this list needs to be laminated and then kept in the car so that there's no discrepancies when playing the game.
And voted on by Congress.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Should be an amendment. All right. So the top 10 rules coming in at number 10, calling shotgun more than a certain time before a journey makes it invalid. Number 9, shotgun resets once people get out of the car.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I think we all can
yes,
agree with
we
that
agree.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 8, you must be able to see the car to call shotgun. Which I think that kind of goes hand in hand with number 10. Like, you can't like be in the house like 2 hours before you're leaving and be like, oh, by the way, shotgun. Yeah. Okay. Number 7, the shotgun winner must be ready to leave at the driver's preferred time. Otherwise, shotgun rights are withdrawn.
That's, wow.
That's intense.
That's very intense.
That's
But that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't dislike it.
No.
But that's like you're taking this very seriously. I would have loved that as like a 8-year-old, though. I'd be like, yeah. Okay, number 6, shotgun is final. Once called, you can't be like, just kidding, I'll sit in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, shotgun only lasts for one leg of the journey. It starts again for the return trip. So like if you're going out to eat, you can call it on the way there, but you got to call it again when you're leaving the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, I agree with that one.
Yeah, I do too. Number 4, if 2 people call it at the same time, it's up to the driver to decide.
Ooh.
I feel like this is a lot of pressure.
That is.
Yeah.
I mean, to be the tiebreaker.
That could end a friendship.
Yeah, I know. Like, I feel like that's a lot to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, the first person to call shotgun gets the front seat. I mean,
what?
That's the whole point of the game, right?
Yeah, why wouldn't you take the front seat?
I don't feel like that needs to be on the
No.
top 10. Like, that's obvious.
That would be funny, though, if somebody was like, shotgun, and I'll defer to the back seat.
They're in like one of those old station wagons where you have to like face backwards in the very far back.
yeah.
And that's your shotgun.
Yes.
Yeah, that's terrible. Number 2, the driver has final say and can overrule shotgun.
Okay. I like that.
I think that's interesting. I don't know. I feel like...
If you call it, but I don't want to sit next to you, and I just say, nah, overruled.
Now, see, that would ruin friendships. I
That
feel like.
would. A veto of a shotgun?
Yeah, that'd be bad. All right. Well, the number 1 rule is anyone with a physical need overrules shotgun.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like if you're with grandma, you can't be like, oh, shotgun, and grandma has to sit like in the back. That's not fair.
Or you're with Will.
Or you're...
Don't put Will in the back.
Don't put Will. Nobody puts Will in the back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're taking off this morning, make sure that you call shotgun at an appropriate time before you get in the vehicle. All right. We've got our top story this morning. It is sad news, a story we've been following for a little bit. A woman's body found inside of a plastic tote. We've learned that woman was pregnant. We've got new details on this story coming up in 2 minutes. WHI News Time is 6:58.
I'm Dr. Merkel. Recently, a 60-year-old patient reported his cataracts are gone, floaters are gone, and he can drive better at night. His tremor is gone and can sign his name better. Hip and knee joint pains are also gone, and he can now go up steps 2 at a time. Overall fatigue and stiffness are much better, lost a few pounds, and his ED and testosterone greatly improved. He hasn't felt this healthy or this good in years. No surgeries, no drugs, no shots were used or even needed. Just getting healthier. He didn't need multiple doctors, just one who is an expert in health. Whatever your health problems, maybe there are safe natural options. You'll know in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. And if you get healthy enough, does it really matter the name of the disease? At Take Two Healthcare, we won't guess. With proper testing, we will know what to do. Go to Take Two Healthcare and listen every Saturday, 11 to noon, to Take Two Healthcare right here on WHIO.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
You get a notice from your local taxing authority that your value of your home is going way up by their estimation. And so then in turn, your property taxes in most jurisdictions follow right along, flow with much higher taxes. What does that mean you do? Sit on your hands? No way. Because just because the appraiser says your home has gone up so much, if it's not accurate, you need to appeal. Most people don't appeal. And if you do, you're just letting the government tell you what your home's worth. As I've experienced in the past, often it'll be valued well above what I could actually get for my home. So if you get an assessment of your home that doesn't seem accurate, take the time to appeal. It's your money.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO. This is the station Dayton turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. WHIO Dayton Springfield, celebrating 90 years of being Dayton's news and talk station. Depend on it.
Good morning. It is 7 o'clock on Friday, August 8th. I'm Brittany Otto on Miami Valley's Morning News with the 3 big things that you need to know. Hot and humid today, turning partly cloudy throughout the afternoon, a downpour possible, highs in the mid-80s. The search underway for a gunman after 2 police officers were shot late last night in East Cleveland. And it is our top story this morning. We have new information into the death of the pregnant woman that hikers found dead in a plastic tote.
That's right, Brittany. Police have arrested 2 men now in this case. They think they kept Brittany First Storm's body in a Middletown apartment for days before dumping it. News Center 7's Mason Fletcher has the court documents that show investigators found when they searched that apartment. He reports from Logan Avenue in Middletown for us.
The apartment where Rothenbush, one of the suspects, lives. Police served a search warrant here, and neighbors cannot believe what they found. Sunday night, hikers called 911 after finding a plastic tote in the woods in Montgomery County.
It's something dead in there, man. I ain't opening it.
Inside that tote, police found the body of pregnant 28-year-old Brittany Fior Storms. They say she was naked, wrapped in a cloth with a blue tarp, and the tote's lid was sealed with screws.
On Tuesday, police arrested James Rothenbush and Rick Shepard in connection with her death.
Both claim Fior Storms died of an overdose and admitted to moving her body. Police executed a search warrant on Rothenbush's Middletown apartment where police believe she died. News Center 7 got a copy of the search warrant. It shows what police found inside Rothenbush's apartment. It lists more than 6 grams of fentanyl, along with methamphetamine and pills. Investigators also found a suspected bloodstain on the carpet, a blue tarp, screws, and a set of towels that all match the description of the ones found with Fior Storm's body. The documents add that through a social media search, investigators learned Rothenbush was a painter and said that was important to the investigation because Fior Storm's body was wrapped in a painter's cloth.
Yeah, stay tuned right here as we continue to bring you the very latest developments on this story on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
Pretty dry lately. Mother Nature hasn't let us have any rain for some of us. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz. There's a cold front on the way. Yeah, it cools down for a second, but it also brings us an okay shot at some rain. I'll tell you when.
Right now, I'm not seeing any accidents or delays for the morning drive. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
This is Miami Valley's Morning News on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. I'm Brittany Otto.
And I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Well, breaking from overnight, Israel now says it plans to take over Gaza City in another escalation of its 22-month war with Hamas.
The decision made after a late-night meeting of top officials drew Palestinian rejection, fueled mounting international calls to end the war, and provoked worries in Israel over the fate of hostages still held by Hamas. Israel's air and ground war has already killed tens of thousands of people in Gaza, displaced most of the population, destroyed vast areas, and pushed the territory toward famine. In a statement, Hamas rebuffed Netanyahu's plans and vowed to remain defiant.
That is WHIO's Will Taylor. Xenia City schools are gearing up for the new academic year with significant upgrades, including a brand new Warner Middle School and enhancements to the high school football stadium.
The Warner Middle School, which cost $45 million, originally opened for students in January and will have its first full academic year in 2025 to 2026. The school is designed with 3 floors, each dedicated to a different grade level, providing a modern and organized learning environment.
That is WHIO's Benjamin Fritkiss. And in football news, the New England Patriots have a plan to set Tom Brady's legacy in stone.
When Tom Brady was enshrined in the New England Patriots Hall of Fame last year, team owner Robert Kraft announced his former quarterback, who led the franchise to 6 Super Bowl titles, would become the first in team history to get immortalized with a bronze statue. This evening in Foxborough, Massachusetts, the Tom Brady statue will be unveiled.
And he's Fox's Jared Max reporting. WHIO News Time 7:05.
Well, the Daily Mail says playing tennis for just 11 minutes a day can extend your life expectancy by a decade. Tennis builds endurance, improves cardiovascular health, and strengthens muscles. Experts recommend tennis for longevity, heart health, and overall well-being. And President Trump has drawn a line in the sand, and today's the day we'll learn how Russia will react. That story coming up in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time is 7:06.
Nobody likes to be told what to think. That's why we're careful to make sure our news is right down the middle. Both sides and all viewpoints. Then you decide what you think about it. Dayton's News and Talk is WHIO. Depend on it.
Hey there. We're My USA Credit Union. We're the simple, go-all-in, slightly quirky cooperative, can-do place to bank. We're for those building toward the future, creating the life of your dreams. We'll always tell it to you straight and help guide you through each step of life's journey. When you join MyUSA, you've got a best financial friend for life. We're always rooting for you, like a best friend should. MyUSACU.com. This institution is not federally insured, but ASI insured and equal opportunity lender. Contact the credit union for complete details.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
You want to buy stuff made in the USA? How do you know it really is? How do you know when people say, hey, buy American, that you're actually buying American? Well, we've been working on that at ClarkDeals.com, and we keep expanding our list, verifying as best we can that goods that are being sold saying made in the USA really are. Special emphasis, of course, because it is Clark Deals, trying to show you items that are made here in the U.S. that are also a real deal for your wallet. Now, a lot of times something will say made in USA, but it's only assembled here. All the components are from overseas. And we're trying as hard as we can to make sure we show you items that are truly, fully made in the United States.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
Dayton's only all-local news radio station. The power of WHIO Radio and News Center 7 means you'll know first. This is Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us this morning here on Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Brittany Otto. Well, Robert Pattinson's The Batman Part 2 is going to begin production next spring. Right now, it's 68 degrees in Dayton. It's 7:08.
And I'm going to begin watching it as soon as it comes out multiple times. I'm Jeremy Ratliff. It's 8 minutes here after 7 o'clock. And let's take you to Troy for this next story. The Miami County Fair kicks off today.
Highlights in this year's fair include the Eli Young Band Friday night, tractor pulls Saturday night, harness racing on Monday, and wiener dog and corgi races Tuesday. KOI drag racing is Wednesday. The Demolition Derby is set for Thursday night.
I'm not going to lie. I'm excited for wiener dog and corgi races. That is WHIO's Ron Auto reporting. If you want to go to the fair, it runs through Thursday, August the 14th. The U.S. Secretary of the Army is praising the efforts of the soldiers who helped stop Georgia's military base shooter.
These American soldiers highlight exactly what the Army has meant to this country. It has been there in some of the most traumatic moments of this nation's history, and it has been resilient, stood strong, and acted on behalf of American citizens.
Now, as we have been reporting for you, the shooter is in custody. The 5 soldiers are now being treated for their injuries. Today is President Trump's deadline for Russia to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine.
President Trump has threatened new sanctions targeting Russia if President Vladimir Putin does not agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine by today.
We're going to see what he has to say. It's going to be up to him. Very disappointed.
Still, President Trump says he could meet with Putin next week, even if the Russian leader will not meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
No, he doesn't. No.
So when do you think that meeting?
They would like to meet with me, and I'll do whatever I can to stop the killing.
That was a shift from earlier in the day when a White House official said a U.S.-Russia summit did depend on Putin agreeing to meet with Zelensky.
And here's Fox's Jared Halpern reporting for us from the White House.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
At the front-running New York City mayoral candidate responding to a report that President Trump is thinking about getting involved in that race, Fox's Marianne Rafferty breaks it down.
Democratic Socialist mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani vowing to be President Trump's worst nightmare.
She decided to get involved in the New York mayoral race. Mamdani's strong words coming during a Thursday press conference. Mamdani saying the president has not called him and that his approach will be reflexive and in opposition to Trump. The New York Times report this week said Trump had spoken to Democratic mayoral candidate Andrew Cuomo, a claim he flatly denies. The Cuomo campaign confirming the president's remarks in a statement, quote, the governor and the president have not spoken in some time. As far as I know, they have not discussed the race.
So the president has repeatedly criticized Mamdani, who faces Cuomo again. Speaking of Cuomo, the former New York governor, now running as an independent there. A lot happening. WHIO News Time, 7:11.
And we get your 5-day weather forecast this morning from Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz.
Patchy fog this morning, hot and humid this afternoon with a stray shower, 86 degrees, feeling more like 90. 88 on Saturday, partly cloudy with a stray shower. Sunday, showers and storms possible late, otherwise partly cloudy and a high of 89. 88 degrees on Monday. Once again, a 20% shot of a shower or storm through the afternoon. And Tuesday, best shot at rain as we stay in the upper 80s until that front decides it wants to move through. Come Wednesday, we're back to 86.
The Live Doppler 7 radar is clear. It's 65 degrees in Sydney, 63 in Huber Heights, 68 degrees at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Refresh your ride with brand new tires at unbeatable prices. Plus, buy 4 new tires and get 4 free oil changes, an additional $300 value. Make an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
And we're going to get a traffic update on this Friday morning from Jake Magnotta.
Brittany, right now actually looking pretty good. I've also been watching for any delays in our construction areas for anybody driving southbound on 75 or northbound on 75, north of downtown Dayton, southbound on Route 4 near Stanley Avenue in Dayton, or 35 west near 675 in Beaver Creek. Not currently tracking any slowdowns through here. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Apple set to launch their $1,999 foldable iPhone in September of 2026. The new device will be part of the iPhone 18 lineup. It's expected to resemble the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold series. Apple aims to cash in on the trend of foldable phones and hopes to generate a $65 billion windfall. And Alligator Alcatraz facing a bit of a holdup. We've got the details coming up for you. That's in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time 7:13.
At WHIO, people ask us all the time why we interrupt programming for breaking news, weather, and traffic. And the answer is simple. We only exist to be the live and local station that will break in whenever there's something happening that you need to know about. Some stuff is really important, so important that you need to know right away. We don't want you to wait even 5 minutes to find out something urgent. That's the most important thing we do here. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
Hey, it's Todd from the Evening Edge. The Community Overdose Action Team invites you to Overdose Awareness Day on Tuesday, August 12th from 5 to 8 at Levitt Pavilion. Help us raise awareness about the impact of drug overdoses. Learn about the signs of an overdose, treatment options, and how Narcan saves lives. This family-friendly event features a free meal, event bags, DJ, door prizes, and I'll be broadcasting the Evening Edge live from 5 until 7. Overdose Awareness Day, Tuesday, August 12th at Levitt Pavilion. Visit mccoat.org for more information.
Need the best bank for business checking? Call Clint and the team at Farmers and Merchants Bank. They saved us over $2,000 a month.
And when you need the best quartz and marble countertops, make sure to call Dark Star Marble and Granite. Their friendly staff takes care of everything.
It's that simple. For your quartz and granite countertop needs, call Dark Star. And for your business banking needs, call us at Farmers and Merchants Bank.
The best bank.
The best countertops.
We all deliver great customer service.
Learn more at bankwithfm.com. Member FDIC.
There's never been a better time to buy the commercial mower that has your back. For a limited time, your local Ferris dealer, American Equipment Service, has the best financing offers of the year. Choose the offer that works best for you. 36 months, 60 months. There are even options to skip payments when work is slow. It's never been easier to buy a Ferris. So visit American Equipment Service today. All loans subject to credit approval. See American Equipment Service, exit 58 off I-71 for details. Ferris, experience suspension.
As you may know, David's Cemetery is a beautiful cemetery in the heart of Kettering that offers many burial options. What you may not know is that we also have a beautiful chapel and an after-service facility called the Gathering Room. Our convenient location eliminates traveling from place to place because we can host everything from the visitation and memorial service to the committal and family gathering. Please call or stop by our office for a private tour. David Cemetery, Generations of Care.
Good morning, Dayton. You're waking up with the information you need to start the day. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
Good morning. It is 7:16. I'm Brittany Otto here on Miami Valley's Morning News with the three big things that you need to know today. Well, a dozen mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus in Greene County. Dayton Public Schools' first day of school just days away. Still no busing for high schoolers across the district. And it is our top local story. New details in a disturbing local story that we've been following closely for you.
Yeah, Brittany, investigators telling us that the woman whose body was found inside a plastic tote earlier this week was pregnant.
Cops say James Rothenbush and Rick Shepard admitted to them that 28-year-old Brittany Furs Storms died inside Rothenbush's house and that the body was inside the home for days afterward. Both men are facing several drug charges along with gross abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence charges.
That is WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. Two hikers found Furs Storm's body in the area of Manning and Anthony Roads Sunday night in Jackson Township. A judge granting a delay in the case of the mother of Herschel Kriechbaum and her boyfriend, who are facing charges in connection with his death.
This is the first time the couple faced a judge in person. The lawyers for both asked for 4 weeks continuance because they have so much information and evidence to go through.
That is News Center 7's Letitia Perry reporting. Ashley Johnson and Michael Kendrick are charged with Kriechbaum's care in handling, but not directly, with his death. An elderly man has died days after being involved in a crash in Dayton.
88-year-old Herman Henley died on Monday at Miami Valley Hospital. Henley had been in a crash at the intersection of Kipling and Cornell Drives on July 30th. The driver of the other car was also taken to the hospital for their injuries. The crash remains under investigation.
That is WHIO's Sierra Lawson reporting. West of the Buckeye State, police say a 61-year-old man fatally shot a neighbor in Pennsylvania and then ambushed responding state troopers, wounding two while firing dozens of rounds from a semi-automatic weapon.
State Police Colonel Christopher Paris told reporters Lori Wasco's boyfriend called 911 after 11 a.m. yesterday from their home near Thompson to report shots fired. Paris says the woman was shot and killed outside her home near her vehicle. A man identified as Carmine Fino shot Wasco and then shot troopers Joseph Paranchinski and William Jenkins as they were arriving. Both troopers were in stable condition last night.
That is WHIO's Will Taylor. Fano was shot and killed by law enforcement. And a federal judge ordering a 2-week pause on the construction of Alligator Alcatraz as hearings challenging the Everglades detention facility's environmental impact accumulate. Now, that facility, built on a military training base, was made to allow Florida law enforcement to assist in President Trump's mass deportation agenda. Now, on Fox's Hannity, border czar Tom Homan says the facility is top-notch.
I walked through the food preparation area. Fantastic. I went through the medical facility. Top-notch. I went through the detention facility. Air conditioning was fine. I asked about the reports of clergy not being allowed. They show me the books where the clergy's been in there. They show me the books. There have been no trauma cases.
Now, Democrat and Republican lawmakers toured the facility and came back with much different takes. WHIO News Time, 7:19.
And we're going to get your 5-day weather forecast on this Friday morning as we move into the weekend. From Storm Center 7, meteorologist Brittany Ritz.
This Friday afternoon, we'll hit 86 degrees, feeling more like 90 plus thanks to the humidity. Partly cloudy skies, stray showers possible. Saturday, much of the same, even hotter, 88, 89 on Sunday, with a better chance for showers and storms throughout the latter part of the day, especially into the early parts of the evening. Monday, a stray shower storm, 88 degrees, otherwise partly cloudy, and a little more cloud cover on Tuesday with a better shot of showers and storms with an approaching cold front with a high of 88 degrees.
No rain right now on the live Doppler 7 radar. It is 65 degrees in Tip City, 68 in Vandalia, 68 degrees at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Expert brake repair you can trust. Make sure you can stop when you need to the most. Get a little peace of mind by making an appointment today with your trusted brake repair experts at GrismerTire.com.
And we check in now with Jake Magnotta.
Brittany, just going through some cameras, looking at the interstates, looking out for any problems. Not currently seeing anywhere where traffic's slow right now, and there have been no reported crashes this morning. So if you're about to use any of the interstates, you'll get to where you're going on time this hour. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Well, BCK Online says kids' excessive screen time could lead to heart issues. A recent study found a link between high screen use and cardio problems. Researchers suggest limiting screen time to protect kids' long-term health. And an update to Instagram has some users concerned for their safety. We dive into why in our in-depth impact story. That's in 3 minutes. WHI News Time is 7:21.
It takes a lot of work and people to put on a live radio station. But being in the moment with us, live and local, is something you can't get anywhere else. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
Dave Cause and Friends Summer Horns 2025, featuring Marcus Anderson, Jeff Bradshaw, Leo P. and Evan Taylor, plus Marcel Anderson. Saturday, August 9th, Fraze Pavilion. Get tickets now at fraze.com.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
I despise Pay in 4. That's where everywhere you go to shop now, online or in person, they're asking you, do you want to pay for whatever it is you're buying? Buy now, pay later in 4 easy payments. The problem is, a lot of people say yes, get something they might not have otherwise, and then they can't make the 4 easy payments. Well, this is a disaster for your wallet, but now also more and more a disaster for your credit, because now these Pay in 4s are showing up on your credit report as a big fat negative. The only people who should even consider it are people who have no credit at all and you're trying to establish a credit record. But if you use Pay in 4 that way, you better make every payment on time.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO. What is the WHIO Storm Center? It means when you hear these tones, you are just a few minutes away from emergency weather information. Weather is our #1 priority. The Storm Center 7 forecast is always on the radio. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. And when News Center 7 is in wall-to-wall weather coverage mode, you'll always hear it simulcast on WHIO radio. That means you can take your radio to your safe spot and hear exactly what's happening with severe weather. When it comes to weather, we don't mess around.
When we ask home service pros about their challenges, we can sound a bit repetitive. Can't get quotes out fast enough? Jobber can help. Trouble finding new customers? Jobber can help. Spending too much time chasing checks? Jobber can help. Working every night? You get the idea. Jobber helps you organize, automate, and grow your home service business. Start your free trial today at jobber.com.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking and the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword micro to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say micro to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Together with the resources of News Center 7, you're on Dayton's #1 news team. Now, back to Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
Good morning, and thanks for listening to Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Brittany Otto. Well, pumpkin spice Twinkies are back. Grocery stores have sold out of the snack cake at places like Kroger, but Walmart still has them in stock. 68 degrees in Dayton, 725.
How quickly can I get to Walmart? That's the question. 25 minutes after 7 o'clock, I'm Jeremy Ratliff. A typical high this time of year, it's 85 degrees, and we're about to crank that dial once again.
Yesterday we hit 84, which is pretty close to normal. Today, 86, and then roughly 88 to 89 degrees through the entire weekend and early next week until that cold front decides it wants to pass through. Now, that cold front doesn't really cool us down all that much. Yeah, it takes us back to normal around 85, but the humidity still high, so it will feel more like we're in the 90s. Keep cool. Don't forget to drink that water. Limit your time outdoors and check on pets and neighbors. Dress appropriately as well, like colored clothing, loose-fitting clothing. And then also throw on the sunscreen. The UV index is quite high. Even with the clouds, you can get a sunburn.
That is Storm Center 7 meteorologist Briley Ritz.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
And now for the WHIO Impact Story, which means we go in-depth on a major story every hour. A new Instagram feature is making many users concerned for their well-being in real life because of the app sharing location data.
Instagram's latest update now includes Instagram Map, which can show your location data to other users. Some are complaining that this feature could lead to safety issues, especially for people threatened by stalkers. Meta, the company behind Instagram, says the feature is by default not activated. But just to be sure it's not broadcasting your location, go to the top of the DM box, then to the map, tap the settings icon in the upper right, and then under there, select who can see your location and change it to none if you want no one to find you. Don't forget to tap done to save the setting.
That is Fox's Evan Brown reporting. WHIO News Time, 727.
Well, the weekend has arrived. Friday is here. Let's find out what's happening in the Miami Valley, sponsored by Sochi.
The WHIO Weekend Preview with what's happening around the Miami Valley. Here's Chris Hartley.
The Miami County Fair kicks off tonight at the Miami County Fairgrounds. Rides, games, food, livestock, country, concert, and more. The fair is going to run through August 14th. Voices of America Country Music Fest is happening down in Westchester this weekend. You can check out Carrie Underwood, Hardy, Darius Rucker, among others. Festival's going to run through Sunday. St. Bridget Parish Festival, that's going on this weekend at St. Bridget Parish in Xenia. Rides, games, food, live music, and beer. Tonight, 6 to 11. Tomorrow, 5:30 to 11, and Sunday, 1 to 5. And the Inglewood Art Festival, that's going to be happening this weekend over at Centennial Park with lots of art vendors, food, 5K race. They got a parade, live entertainment, and even a car show. 11 to 5, both tomorrow and Sunday. Getting you out into the Miami Valley, I'm Chris Hartley, 1290, 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
The WHIO Weekend Preview with what's happening around the Miami Valley. Here's Chris Hartley.
What's up, Miami Valley? Here's what's happening. The Miami County Fair is happening this weekend over at the Miami County Fairgrounds. Rides, games, food, livestock, country, concert, and more. The fair is going to run through August 14th. The Inglewood Art Festival, that's going to be happening this weekend over at Centennial Park with lots of vendors, food, 5K race, parade, live entertainment, and a car show. 11 to 5, both Saturday and Sunday. German Fest Picnic, that's happening this weekend over at the Dayton Litterkranz Turner. It's on East 5th Street in Dayton. Lots of food, beer, kids activities, craft vendors, a car show, and more. This is a free event. Friday 5 to 11, Saturday 11 to 11, and Sunday 11 to 4. Dayton Potato Festival, that's happening this weekend over at Oak and Ivy Park. That's in Dayton. Food and live craft vendors, live entertainment, and line dancing. This is going to be on Saturday from noon to 8. And movies topping the box office this weekend include The Fantastic Four, First Steps, The Bad Guys 2, and Naked Gun. With your WHIO Weekend Preview, I'm Chris Hartley.
For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto. August 5th was a big day in history. In 1914, the first electric traffic light in America is installed at West 105th Street and Euclid in Cleveland. In 1930, the first man on the moon, astronaut Neil Armstrong, is born in Wapakoneta. In 1945, the Enola Gay drops an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan.
The Japanese began the war from the air at Pearl Harbor. They have been repaid many-fold.
And in 1991, the man who literally started the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals, Coach Paul Brown, dies. And August 9th, 1974, Richard Nixon becomes the first U.S. president to resign.
But as president, I must put the interests of America first. Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour in this office.
For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto.
This is the station Dayton turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. WHIO Dayton Springfield, celebrating 90 years of being Dayton's news and talk station. Depend on it.
Good morning. It is 7:30. It is Friday, August 8th. I'm Brittany Otto here on Miami Valley's Morning News with the three big things that you need to know this morning. Hot and humid, turning partly cloudy through the afternoon. A downpour possible. We will see highs in the mid-80s. The search underway for a gunman after two police officers were shot late last night in East Cleveland. And it is our top story.
The plastic tote had screws keeping the lid down tight.
New info in regards to a pregnant woman that hikers found dead in a plastic tote.
Yeah, and Brittany, News Center 7's Mike Campbell is continuing our team coverage for us this morning.
We told you Sunday night that the woman's body was found in a rural part of western Montgomery County. And then we told you that she'd been identified as Brittany Storms. Now, it all led to this house in a residential Middletown neighborhood where police arrested two men accusing them of dumping her body.
She was wrapped in towels and a tarp.
Jackson Township Police Chief Mark Brunner says his department was the first to handle a suspicious container investigation. But when they opened that large tote container on rural Anthony Road, this turned into a suspicious death investigation.
Yeah, so Jackson Township called in Montgomery County Sheriff's deputies and the coroner.
The coroner identified the dead woman as 28-year-old Brittany Storms.
It was also discovered that she was pregnant and the baby was also deceased.
Jeremy Roy described the scene as very isolated. Metroparks land on one side of the road and an embankment down to Twin Creek on the other side. Detectives learned the victim's last address was in Franklin, and that led investigators to this apartment home in Middletown, where they believe Storms visited two men and where police believe she died.
Left Brittany's body in the shower of the home for several days before putting her body in the tote.
Yeah, so Middletown police arrested those two men then on Wednesday night.
James Rothenbush, who lives at the home, faces drug charges along with gross abuse of a corpse and failing to report a death. Rick Shepard is charged with tampering with evidence and gross abuse of a corpse.
He later stated that the deceased died from alleged overdose, and she remained in the house for approximately a week.
Investigators from Middletown and all the other departments working this case say Shepard and Rothenbush are the ones claiming that Brittany OD'd, and that has not officially been determined yet. A coroner will make that call.
Yeah, stay tuned here then as we continue to bring you the very latest on this developing story on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
Summer's not over with yet, and Mother Nature's letting us know. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz. I'll talk about the heat and when we finally catch a small little break from it here in your extended forecast.
Just some bright sunshine that may affect your drive on the highways right now. No traffic jams because of any crashes. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
This is Miami Valley's Morning News on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. I'm Brittany Otto.
And I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Well, a local county alerted the community that a dozen mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus.
Greene County public health officials were notified by the Ohio Department of Health that 12 mosquito samples taken from Bellbrook, Beaver Creek, and Fairborn tested positive for West Nile virus.
That is WHIO's Will Taylor reporting. You can find more info at WHIO.com. We now know that a dated man injured in a car crash last week actually died then on Monday.
The Montgomery County Coroner's Office reports 88-year-old Herman Henley died on Monday. He'd been injured in a crash at Kipling and Cornell Drives on July 30th. The cause of death has not been determined, so it's not known if he died from crash injuries.
That is WHIO's Jason Michaels. The report states conflicting statements were given to police. A Warren County teen is dead after a crash that happened in Kentucky last month.
16-year-old Gavin Wilson was a passenger in a car that crashed July 26th in Maysville. School district leaders say Wilson was entering his junior year at Lebanon High School and was set to attend Warren County Career Center.
That is WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. The family has set up a fund in Wilson's name to help pay for lunches for students in the district. We have more info on that at WHIO.com. And the Trump administration announcing it would send more federal law enforcement into Washington starting today. Some Washington residents criticize that decision.
I think that is probably unnecessary.
I mean, it depends on how they carry themselves. That's my honest opinion.
Man, chill out, Donald, man.
chill for a second, man.
Now, the announcement comes after a former Doge employee was allegedly attacked last weekend. President Trump has repeatedly criticized the amount of crime in the city, though violent crime there reportedly down by 26% compared to a year ago. WHIO News Time is now 7:35.
Well, China Daily says a recent study reveals eating chili peppers on a regular basis can significantly lower the risk of heart and brain diseases. Researchers found that those who consume chili 6 or 7 days a week have a decreased chance of developing cardiovascular problems. People who like mildly spicy food have a 7% lower chance of developing cardiovascular and brain diseases, while the risk among those who like strong spice levels is 9% lower. And a big night tonight for Browns fans, and we'll have all the action right here on WHIO Radio. We've got a preview for you in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time is 7:36.
A lot of weird stuff happens around here overnight. That's why we feature Dayton's only all-news morning show. Catch up and know what's going on every morning. Miami Valley's morning news is on WHIO. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
I'm Ron Otto with my Sports Rundown. My opinion on the big stories in sports. The Speedway Classic. Yikes. Of course it rained during an event that baseball and Bristol Motor Speedway had been preparing for about a year. The fact that they waited for over 3 hours to postpone it was boneheaded. But forget the rain for a second. Some people complained of the parking and traffic and the lack of hotel rooms in the area. But if you're a NASCAR fan, that's par for the course at Bristol. But then the concession stands ran out of food before first pitch. A huge fail. You see, baseball and racing fans are just different cultures. It's an all-day thing for race fans. They tailgate, eating before they go in and after they leave the track, getting there early and staying late and making up for the traffic issues as well. Some even camp out for the weekend. Now, there's no such thing in baseball. Most baseball fans park relatively close and eat inside the venue. The track obviously wasn't prepared for that. Then again, I don't think baseball fans were quite prepared for a game